Hello, class. Welcome to Lost. Um, my name is David Winger. I'm your teacher. So, anyway, let's talk about the class just a little. I want to tell you, after I finished watching this show, I was riding my bike and actually had the idea of teaching this class. And so I went and talked to Dr. Richter, and she says, "Oh, yes, I love that show. I'd love you to teach that class." So that's how the class came about. I want you to. I'm taking a lot of my material from a book called The Ultimate Lost and Philosophy, edited by Sharon Kay. So some of these ideas are my own. Some I have done through my own research, and some have come from this book. So it's just a mixture of the two. Um, the first thing I'd like to talk about is humanities. This class is a humanities, and a lot of times I find students ask me, especially when they register for a class, what is humanities? And so this is what the OPSU catalog, how it describes or the definition for humanities. Humanities investigates the creative endeavors of different cultures and eras in history and cultivates an aesthetic appreciation and sensitivity for the fine arts, such as art, music, and literature in particular. Now, during this show, I would say that one of the things we could also say is TV expresses humanities and the creative endeavors of cultures, and we'll see that when we look at Lost. And during the show Lost, we'll also see art, music, and literature, and how it has affected how it comes into play in the show and in the themes of the show. Philosophy. Philosophy. The Greeks is where we get the word from the Greeks, and the Greeks philosophy means love of wisdom. If you look it up in dictionary.com, it says the rational investigation of the truths and principles of being, knowledge, or conduct. Basically, it's our way of trying to understand what's going on in this world, and we all have you have a philosophy about something, whether you know it or not. And we all have a philosophy, but there are some philosophies that have developed throughout the ages, and we're going to explore some of those. The next thing, the class is also about theology. When we talk about theology, a lot of times you'll see a definition. Well, here dictionary.com defines theology as the study of divine things or religious truth, like a divinity, in other words. In my life, I have a theology degree, and when I got the degree, the definition that I really like is faith seeking understanding. If you think about it, we're all trying to understand. St. Augustine said, "I understand to believe, and I believe to understand." And so this theology is this whatever faith you might have trying to understand. One thing I will ask you, is theology a philosophy? Religion. What is religion? Karl Marx said, or religion. Definition of religion is faith or a belief system. Karl Marx's famous comment was that religion is an opium for the masses. I want you to think about that and what that means. Maybe we'll bring that into the discussion and how is religion and what is that? And is his comment actually a philosophy? There's a difference in religion and a denomination. Now, in in our little world here, the Oklahoma Panhandle, um, uh, the primary religion is Christianity. Okay, there's some other major religions: Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Judaism is another major religion, um, and there's many more other religions. Now, a denomination is within a religion, or it's you know a separation within a religion. Um, the different denominations here could be like Baptist, Methodist, Church of Christ, uh, so on, Lutheran. Uh, so that's the difference in. I know for myself, I thought denominations were religions. Really, denominations aren't religions; they're just part of the Christian religion. Now, another thing I want you to think about in this class is a bias. And what is your bias? Basically, when we're biased, is we're prejudiced, and so like uh, for myself, I was raised here. I was raised in the Texas Panhandle all my life. I went to college at Texas Tech. So I've lived in the this rural lifestyle here in the Midwest. I grew up in the Church of Christ. This is Protestant form of Christianity. I was very conservative. I've been a Republican. Later in my life, I converted to the Catholic faith. And now I'm a Catholic Christian. Um, so I need to understand that from where I've come from, I could be biased in what I believe and what I think. The better we understand our biases, the better we're able to look at something more objectively. And so we all have our bias. So I want you to think about what your bias is. And once you discover your bias, that could help you in uh, uh, discovering, being able to look at both sides of the coin. Um, Now, when you're watching the episodes of Lost, we're not going to be able to watch all the episodes. We're just going to be able to watch about, I think, 15 or 16. Understand this. You're going to be very tempted to try and say, what's going on? What is this? What's that? Just trying to understand. Just trying to look at the show. And we're going to try and look at a lot of the philosophy and theology that are going on throughout the show. Now, these themes will be all throughout the show. So notice whenever you're watching the shows, look for some of these themes, and you might find some themes that aren't mentioned here, and that's great. What I'm excited about is what I'm going to learn from you guys, and so just know that all these are themes that you might see in the show, and the themes are also on your in your eCollege website. There's a link under the course home that has the themes, so you can print them out if you want to, or whatever you'd like to do. Now, as you're going through, we will find out the end, but don't get so caught up in what's happening and trying to explain everything. It's just like real life. We don't know all the answers. Okay, so we're just going to be in this search along with the survivors of Flight 815. Now, I want you to understand that what I would like you to get out of the course. It's my desire that you get an introduction into philosophy and theology. It's not my aim to convince you of any specific ideology. What I would like to do is arouse your intellectual curiosity and wonder. If during this course you ask questions and the class causes you to think, I will have succeeded. So now, let's get lost.